What's up, guys? It's your boy Thirst48 here, and I'm bringing you a reaction video from the recent Nintendo Switch conference slash release that we saw last week. And I'm not going to do the whole thing today. I'm just going to kind of break it down video by video or section by section. And I wanted to start off with the thing that got me the most hype, and that, of course, is Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, this is the Mario game I've pretty much been waiting for since Galaxy came out back in 2007. It's been now almost basically 10 years since we've gotten a Mario game of this scale, and it looks incredible, and I just want to share my feelings with it for everybody, really. So let's go ahead and start it. And God, I mean, first of all, like some of the quality might go down some because I'm only recording this in 720, but this looks incredible in full 1080p, and I had no idea this was even going to be the Mario game. And in fact, I'll go ahead and pause real quick. Before, it makes a little noise when he's coming out of the, out of the sewer. I thought this was going to be Earthbound. I thought this was going to be, maybe Mother 3, Earthbound 2, whatever they would call it. Still waiting on that, actually. I know there was a Mother 3 that came out on the Game Boy Advance, but it wasn't the 3D RPG that we were supposed to get on the disc drive back on the 64. So maybe, hopefully, they'll give us that someday, but this will do for now, for sure. Like right here, that is incredible. That is absolutely amazing. That this is like something we've never seen Mario game before. Oh my god, look at that. So hold on, I'm gonna pause it real quick. We'll go back a couple seconds and pause it. Before I check it out. First off, right here, you look in the background, there's purple coins. I think they're coins. You see them later in the video, and they're actually like pie pieces. I'm really interested to see what that's going to be. Is it just, maybe they're switching up. He's going to all these different planets and whatnot in different universes. Maybe coins don't exist in certain universes, and instead it's these weird pie pieces. But if you look through in the back, you probably can't see it on this video, but the walk sign, street sign is actually a question mark, like on a power block, which was really cool. I really didn't see that until my second time through, and then you see the yellow coins there in the background. Right here, this looks amazing. All jumping between skyscrapers. Pause, we go back real quick. So back here, you see something that looks a little bit more like what you would see in a Mario game. There's some sort of weird scaffolding, and clearly that's the edge of the map. Obviously, that city part in the background looks like it is just going to be background. There's, it's not completely. It's not as big as maybe as it's made to look, but I still think it's going to be incredible. And you see more of those purple possible coins in the back. Can't really tell what this is right here. Maybe like I don't know. It could just be like something you would see on. It could just be like a event or like a heating thing, like you see on top of skyscrapers. But then you see this weird like kind of structure that hangs off the side of the map and this big yellow block. Probably one of the levels where you get, how the old Mario games work, where you keep going to the same level, you keep doing different things. That's probably what that's for. And like, first of all, so why this right here is awesome. Look, this entire level is preloaded. He's jumping from the top of the level all the way to the bottom, and there's no death barriers or anything, and like that is just absolutely incredible. Because one of the things that's great about, or what's going to be great about the Switch, is all the games are saved on carts again, like DS carts except bigger. They're essentially held on their own tiny solid state drives, which means it doesn't have to read the disc. There is going to be no loading times on these games, so everything is going to be open, and especially in awesome sandbox games like this and Breath of the Wild, that's going to make the experience that much better. Now, what I'm hoping is the level is a little bit bigger than this, because if that is the entire level, it does seem kind of small. But as you see here, there's that weird scaffolding that kind of hangs off the side. I think there's more to this level than just this. It could be a lot like Mario Galaxy, where you go from planetoid to planetoid on this one. I'm not quite sure, because you do see more of it later in the clip that you don't see here. But this game is still months away. I think it's going to be holiday 2017, so probably like November when Galaxy came out. So we really won't know till then, but it'll be mostly speculation. But I still think this looks incredible, and it's just an amazing setting that we haven't seen Mario in before. So when Mario travels in that ship, I wonder if it goes back to a hub world, or does it just go from planet to planet. So there you go, right there. And I'll go back a couple seconds. These weird kind of Dorito rounded off pie pieces. You know, in this planet, does that replace the coins? I don't know. First off, I love this setting, kind of the South American Southwest, Dios de Muerte Mexican style. The sugar skull people looks crazy. I remember we saw this actually back in the initial trailer for the Switch, where you got a little glimpse of the new Mario game, and you see here there's like weird ice hanging everywhere. It's like real clear see-through ice. You see it in both desert levels, and I wonder, like, is that a connecting theme? Is that a part of like the bigger storyline? You know, like I said, that's another thing that we'll just have to speculate on until the game comes out. I think this level looks incredible too. God, the scope of these levels are just incredible. And another example of the differences in the purple coins or whatever, these are little gears. Or actually those are nuts. So also I think this level might have kind of a robotic theme to it. So it's like this big open jungle, but there seems to be a lot of like mechanical structures, and all the enemies in this level seem to be robots. I think that's a bigger shot of the level here. As you see, it's kind of like almost like a factory in the middle of the jungle, and there's some overgrowth there. There's a P switch. Don't know what this light is. I think it looks really awesome. And then, to completely contrast every other level you've seen so far, here's whatever the hell this is. And I think it's a great juxtaposition in this game. You know, the game is called Super Mario Odyssey. What is an Odyssey? It's a long trek through uncharted lands, you know, places you've never been before. And that's definitely the vibe I'm getting with this game. You go to a city, you go to a desert, you go to some ruins, a jungle with a factory, and then whatever the hell this is. There's like a fork person and like kind of this really weird polygonal fruit background. I think it looks beautiful. Turnips are returning from Mario 2, which is fantastic. We really haven't seen those in a main series Mario game in a very, very long time. Here's a rabbit, and obviously rabbits kind of played a big role in both Super Mario 64 DS and, of course, in Super Mario 3D World, so it'll be interesting to see what role they play in Odyssey. New version of the Koopa Brothers. Looks like probably be something called like Chef Brothers or something. This seems like a more traditional Mario level, actually. Really cartoonish and flamboyant. Great art style. Traditional enemies. There's a spiny shell, and basically the next evolution of the brothers throwing pots and pans. Yeah, right here the ship shaped like a top hat. You see like these ads for Crazy Hat and all the different worlds, and Mario's hat, of course, sprouts eyes at the end of the trailer. So that ties in somehow. It actually gives him his new ability, which is throwing his hat like a boomerang, pretty much an evolution of the spin ability that we saw in Galaxy. There's a couple of rotating shots of the planet. So obviously, whatever world this is, it's a desert taken over by ice. And I know deserts do get cold at night, but that ice is there during the day when it should melt. So that'll be like a cool backstory, and it'll probably be the main focus of these desert levels. That's awesome. This seems the main focus, obviously, Bowser kidnapping Peach and forcing him to marry her, or forcing her to marry him. So that'll be interesting. Well, we kind of see it in every other Mario game, but it is cool to see Bowser just like a pimp. So there's a new ability. You can actually check off the hat. Like a spin check, maybe I don't know what the fuck's going on here. This just looks awesome. There's these weird purple skull enemies. He's riding on a fucking lion through the desert. Whatever the hell this is going on back here looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait. Oh no. And then these guys, I'm not sure what role they're going to play. Possibly something like the Koopalings. Maybe they're just, you know, annoying ass bosses that show up from level to level. Or this crazy bitch, whoever the hell that is. This level looks incredible too. It kind of combines the ruin / desert, and then there's the ice in the background. Is this like the final part of that whole level? And they keep saying it's a sandbox, but is it level progression, or is it like 64 and Sunshine before it, where you start in a hub world and you go from level to level? I'm honestly very interested in seeing how that works, because clearly these levels progress. They go from day to night. There's scenes in the city during the daylight, and then later, as we just saw in the trailer, like this kind of rainy back alley feel to the level. At nighttime, we find these weird robots, and then in the desert, you get to the nighttime, and there's the ruins, and there's more ice everywhere, and it's cold. So I'm interested to see how these levels progress and how it works. Does each, as you progress through the level, do you enter different areas, or is it completely one big massive area where time just sort of changes around you? That'll be interesting to see. This right here, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. It's a robotic centipede, something like, holy shit, it's the size of a skyscraper. Mario's gonna fight it, and then that final shot is absolutely incredible. And then, of course, here at the end, the hat is sentient, which will be an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is an incredible trailer. I'm really surprised they showed it off at the Switch event. I thought that's something we were gonna have to wait like a year or two for. But I am so excited for this game. It comes out most likely November, December. Even if they had announced nothing else, this game would have made me bought the Switch. Plain and simple. Mario is something that I've grown up with my entire life. It was the first video game I ever played. The most games I've ever played have been Mario games. Like, I've pretty much played every main series Mario game, Mario Parties, Mario Karts, Super Mario, Paper Mario, of course, being my favorite franchise of all time. Love Paper Mario games. Also, the game from the 90s, Super Nintendo with Square Enix, Super Mario RPG Legend of 7 Stars, personally my favorite video game of all time. This seems like the right step. It's kind of a meme now to shit on Nintendo because they are just re-releasing the same IPs over and over again. Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'll be the first to admit the last couple Mario games, and really Nintendo the last couple years has been subpar. Not really appealing to their main audiences and just trying to make it accessible for everybody. And most of the time when you end up doing that, you end up making it accessible and likable to absolutely nobody, which is kind of what happened with the Wii U. But, the Switch is not going to be the Wii U. It's got some gimmicky peripherals, like it has the like HD haptic feedback in the left controller. The right controller has the IR camera, and I feel like those are going to be really cool things that a lot of developers are going to do really cool things with, and along with the touchscreen. But at the end of the day, they were barely talked about, and they got them out of the way, and they showed one game or two games that used the motion controls and used the gimmicks, and then they were showing games off like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild and Odyssey that are just full, in-depth, deep, beautiful games, no gimmicks required, and I think that's the direction that was the direction Nintendo needed to go in, and I think hopefully that's the direction they will be going in. I know there was a lot of people who were disappointed, and we didn't get the amount of games that we wanted, but they said there was over hundreds of games in development from third-party titles, which should say enough for most people. Obviously, Nintendo has a long history with bad relationships with third-party, and the fact they've got so many third-party developers to come on to the game or to the system so quickly is a huge step forward for the company regardless of what happens. So I'm definitely buying one at release. I think $2.99 for what you get, and with Breath of the Wild being a launch title, which I will also own, and I'll probably do a video about that coming out soon. This was the step Nintendo needed to make. I at one point was like, maybe Nintendo should just make software. Imagine a Mario game or a Zelda game on the PC or the PlayStation or the Xbox. But I also feared that if they did that, they'd go the way of Sega and just fall off into obscurity. But this was their last chance, and I think they nailed it right on the head. I got my pre-order early. I got my pre-order like the same day of the conference. So I know I'll have my hands on one, and I honestly can't wait. I think this is the next step for Nintendo, and they have a bright future ahead of them. A couple other games they announced was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I thought was a great way to port the old Mario Kart, add some new features, and really make it better. Dual items are back, and battle modes, things that were missing from Mario Kart 8 or in the new version, and I cannot wait to play that. Just and another game I'm really excited for, obviously, is Skyrim. I know we've all played Skyrim, but this is essentially the Skyrim remastered for the Nintendo Switch, and you can take it wherever you want to go and play wherever you want. A lot of people were upset about the battery life of the Nintendo Switch. I'm okay with that. When it's off the dock, it doesn't lose any power. That's what a lot of people are worried about. But they said so. The dock adds no additional processing or graphical power. It simply ports it. It connects it through USB-C. It's essentially a USB-C to HDMI dock, so you can play it on your TV. You still get 1080 by or 1920 by 1080 with 60 frames a second on the go. Depending on what game, it's like 2 to 3 or 2.5 to 6 hours of battery life. But it's a USB-C charger. It's no proprietary hardware, which is, thank God. I hate proprietary hardware. And Nintendo was basically on the level of Apple with their ridiculous peripherals. But they really hit the nail on the head. They made it accessible to everybody with the USB-C charger, and I can't wait. I'll have a couple more videos about Nintendo and the Switch and just other games in general. But I felt like this was a good video for me to make. It's something I'm very passionate about. I love Nintendo. I love Mario. I always have, and I always will. And the hype train for Nintendo right now is Metro Boomin' down the rails, and I cannot wait for March 3rd. If you guys like my little review, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Feedback. This was unscripted. That's why there's a lot of ums and a lot of pauses. My future videos, if people seem to like this video format, I know it's a traditional reaction video and a million fucking people do it. But I just kind of wanted to share my opinion with other people. If you guys liked it, then I'll start doing more scripted videos and more structured videos, so I'm not all over the place. But if you do, let me know. Feedback, Twitter. You can follow your boy on Twitter @_thirst48. Hit me with that subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, all the other good shit. And I'll talk to you guys later.